The thing that I love most about running is wherever you're at in your life currently, it always gives you something to wake up and have discipline towards. So maybe you're going through something in a relationship, professionally. Maybe you're dealing with loss in your life. If you do find running is going to challenge you. It's always going to teach you. Running will always teach you a lesson. And at the end of the day, that's why I'm gonna get up and run every single day of my life, because it's going to give me the discipline that's going to flow over into every single other thing that I do in my life. And if that's one thing I could leave with somebody, that would be it. All right, guys, welcome back. This is episode number 2 of the Road to Sweden series. And today we're at the track. We're gonna be doing a tempo session. So this isn't gonna be like 8x800s or a really quick turnover. This tempo session is gonna serve just to keep the legs moving a little bit quicker and holding a little bit uncomfortable paces for longer periods of time. So today we're gonna do a 15-minute warm-up, and then that is going to be followed by a 10-minute session, or a 10-minute rep, 9-minute rep, 8-minute rep, 7-minute rep. So it's going to be more of a ladder format with 2 minutes of recovery in between, and then followed by a cool down. We're going to get after it today, and I'm going to take you through the entire workout with me and show you exactly how I set it up and how it feels in between each rep. I've had quite a few people ask, but the Road to Sweden series, so Hyrox Worlds is held every year at a different location. So this past year, Hyrox Worlds was at Chicago. Well, past year, this was literally a month ago, 2 to 4 weeks ago. And the year before that, Hyrox Worlds was in Nice, France. I think I'm saying that right. But this next year, Hyrox Worlds is in Sweden. So whenever we say Road to Sweden, that's the goal, is to get back to Hyrox Worlds again. So yeah, and right now we have a huge off season. So with Hyrox, in the fall, from about now until November, there's no events in the US. So it is the time to get better right now. This is the off season per se for Hyrox. So that's why I'm putting in the 16-week block, so I can kind of work in a vacuum and just work on running and become a faster runner, because that is my weakness right now. And I want to focus on just my weakness so I can be as good as I can possibly be by the time November rolls back around. The biggest thing that I'm thinking about on this tempo run is discipline. With tempo runs, we're right in zone 3, so it's a little bit above that talking pace, but you're also not at a zone that you should be pushing, 800 meter repeat type speeds. So for me, the biggest thing is staying disciplined, not running too fast, staying in the zone that I should be, and just riding the workout out the way that it was written up. All right, so that is a wrap on the workout. We're now doing a little 5-minute cool down, and the heart rate's chilling at a good 135. But the main theme of that workout is discipline. And if you are someone who's training for a marathon, maybe it's a half marathon, 5K, whatever. If you have a coach or a plan, so this is something I struggled with a lot last year, was on runs where I felt good. Like that one, I wanted to push it. I wanted to run a 640, a 7-minute flat, and I did that once, but reminded myself, this isn't a speed workout, this is a tempo workout. And the best thing you can do here is stick to the plan, because if you can't train the way you're supposed to tomorrow and the day after that, it defeats the purpose of the workout. You want it to be effective, not leave you burnt and not wanting to train the next day. But nonetheless, workout complete. Very happy with that one. And we'll do a little recap here later. All right, so that is a wrap on the workout. I'm looking at paces and everything. We had an average heart rate of 142. We ran for an hour and 6 minutes and 5 seconds, 8.46 miles at an average pace of 7 49. So for the tempo run today, I'm not mad at that one at all. I actually feel, to be honest, I feel very strong. But I know how it goes with running. Sometimes you can get a little ahead of yourself, and sometimes you cannot be confident enough. So I try to stay even keel, good workouts. I still humble myself to know that there's a lot of work to be done, bad workouts. I understand that it's just one day, but this is just another brick on the foundation. This is week 2 of a 16-week build up to the most miles I've ever ran in my entire life. We're already at 24, and we're only 3 days into the week. So yeah, I've said it once and I'll say it before. The goal is to get fast, very fast for Hyrox this season. And right now we're working in a vacuum. We're just running, we're lifting, running a lot. And we're going to keep doing that. So I'm going to take you back with me to my apartment. We're going to cook breakfast, and I'm going to tell you everything I know about tempo runs. And we'll talk a little bit about fueling and what I did for today's run and why I did things the way I did. But yeah, I'll see you there. We are back at the apartment. Now we're going to make breakfast, and I'm gonna explain the workout, how it was structured, why it was structured the way it was, and I will take you through all of that. So. All right, so the biggest thing for me when fueling my breakfast after harder sessions, and that one wasn't obviously a super hard session, but it also wasn't short and easy. So I like to focus on getting protein in directly after. And for me, my highest fat meals are usually breakfast and then dinner later that night. So reason being is a lot of times post-workout you want not a lot of fats, so you want just carbs and protein because you want the high glycemic index carbs and then the protein so you can recover as quick as possible. But for me, I am focused more on just getting quality nutrition, so that's why I do the whole eggs, I do the avocado, just because I'm gonna eat now directly after my session, and then I'm gonna go into a pretty big work block for the middle of the day. And I want to make sure I'm full for a decent amount of time, and that's why I do it that way. But then my lunch and my pre-workout snack before the workout later will be mainly just carbs and protein. And I try to get in around 40 grams of protein per meal. I eat 4 times a day with snacks, so that ends up being anywhere from 180 to 200 grams of protein a day. But yeah, that's usually how breakfast goes. We're going to sit down, we're going to eat breakfast, and then I'm going to take you guys through the full workout we just did and why it was structured that way. And whenever you are structuring your tempo runs, how you can potentially structure yours as well so that it makes sense for you and you're building fitness over time. So today's tempo run, I'm going to go over the stats here. From the run, and then I'm going to explain to you how you can kind of start mixing them into your training and make it make sense for you. If we go to the stats here, and this is on the Garmin app, so if you do have like a Garmin watch, you can go back on your phone and look through the stats of like each warm-up, the recovery, and each rep during the session. But we had a warm-up at 15 minutes, so this ended up being 1.8 miles at an 8:05 pace. And it was pretty cool outside today. It wasn't super humid, so I was feeling good. So the pace I'm pretty proud of there. Then you go into a short rest, and then we're right into 4 rounds of running hard for 30 seconds and resting for 30 seconds in between. And you do that to make sure you're getting your heart rate primed before you go into those longer tempo efforts. So after you do that 4 times, you go into the first rep, which is going to be 10 minutes at a 7:27 pace, rest for 2 minutes. The next one was a 9 minutes at a 7:29 pace, and then 8 minutes at a 7:30.
and then 7 minutes at a 7:30 as well. So a super consistent workout for me. And then the cool down was at 8:50 pace, and we ended the workout at 7:49 pace, as we said at the track. But how these workouts differ a little bit from like your traditional speed workouts. Speed workouts obviously are going to be above your lactate threshold, so you're going to be building lactate at a much quicker pace, and then buffering it quicker as well, because those rest intervals are going to be shorter. It's a way more grindy style of workout. Now, if you're in a prep for, let's say, like a marathon or a longer style race, your tempo intervals will end up being longer at a time. So this may be like 20, 30 minutes at a time holding that tempo pace. But for me, since I'm in the beginning of a 16-week build, that's why you'll see ladders like this where it's 10, 9, 8, 7 minutes at a time with 2 minutes rest in between. Because I'm just getting my body used to holding those tempo paces again, because I just came off of a big Hyrox block after we were at Worlds, and I was doing a lot of really high-end work, so a lot of speed work, a lot of harder circuit style training and sessions. So now going into more of a base building phase for the next 16 weeks, I'm trying to become very aerobically fit, because running is where I can improve the most in Hyrox. We're starting out building back in those tempo runs, those threshold runs, those progression runs, just different style of runs that allow my body to get used to holding that pace. So for me, the reason it's that 7:30 pace is because my lactate threshold, where my body really starts to produce a lot of lactate, is 6:45 for me. So I don't want to be at that 6:45 pace, obviously, because then that's going to turn into a much more, I would say, grindier threshold session that's going to be like the holding it for 20, 30, 40 minutes at a time. But for me, I just want this to get my body back into the rhythm of holding those zone 3 paces and having the discipline to stay there, not go too fast, not go too slow. And if you wanted to work these into your own workout style program, and maybe you're just getting into running, a cool way to do that is a very similar structure, but just knock down the minutes. So if you wanted to do like a short tempo style run for yourself, and maybe you don't know what your threshold pace is at, just think of a pace essentially that if you had to hold that pace for, let's say, longer than 30 minutes, you would be in trouble. Okay, so once you have that pace, you want to go a little bit slower than that. So for me, I was at 7:30, so about 45 seconds slower than that. And you hold it at tempo ladders. So if you were just starting this out and wanted to try it for the first time, maybe do a 6, 5, 4, 3 with a 1 to 2 minute rest in between each one, and a warm up and a cool down after that. But that is how I structure my tempo runs in the beginning of my 16-week block. And you'll see as I progress further through this 16-week block that I will probably do longer tempo sessions, hold those paces for longer, and hopefully those paces get faster over time as well. But for now, it is time to eat this food. And coming up next in this series, I'm going to take you guys through the full 16 weeks and show you the different aspects of building an aerobic base over time. So for me, that's building up to marathon shape. And the goal with that is to show you each side of the training, the hard side of training, the fun side of training with friends, and then everything in between, the nutrition, why I structure workouts the way that I do. That way, as I learn, you can learn as well. But right now in life, outside of that, right now I am working on a coaching program that I can roll out to you guys. And you'll never see me be the guy that's DM me for XYZ, DM me the word. That's just not my style. But I know how much athletic style training did for me when I started running. It made me feel, let's say, like an athlete again. I come from a background where I played college sports. I played baseball, and I know what it's like to go through harder training for a goal and to work with a team towards something. And as you kind of get into your life, your profession, people become fathers. They become people that are respected in a business, and they have a lot of responsibilities. That kind of style of training tends to fade out. And when I say fade out, it's just you kind of lose that same fire that you had when you were in a sport. And for me, someone who I ran a chain of supplement stores for 3 years, and whenever I found athletic style training, it began pouring into everything else I did in my life. I had that fire again. It wasn't just going to the gym to get a pump anymore. I was waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. to run, and then I was doing more functional training after work, and I was excited. And when you're at work, you have more energy to pour into others. And I want to be able to bring that style of training to people that I love and care about. And that's the reason that I'm starting 11 Performance in Training. 11 standing for one vision and one step, because I want to be able to provide for people that do have a vision for themselves to train like an athlete with busy schedules. I want to help them take that first step toward getting there. And 11 is going to be a brand that does bring that style of training to people, and eventually on a very large scale. But starting out, it's just going to be me one-on-one training and bringing that to as many people as I can. I don't plan on taking on a million clients, but I do plan on taking on enough people where I can make a legitimate impact in their life and truly change their life moving forward. And right now in that process, the app is almost done being complete. So the app is almost up on the App Store. The 11 Training and Performance app. And then on the app, you're going to have community, which we already have a few people in there, where you'll be able to see people post their workouts daily, doing very similar workouts that you may be doing. You're going to have instant messaging access to me one-on-one. And then on top of that, you'll be able to see like your daily macros, your grocery list, and what your nutrition should look like. And to make it all even better, I have access to your watch, so I'll be able to see your sleep patterns, what you're eating. I'll be able to see like what your stress was like that day, what your workouts were like, what your heart rate was like during the workout, and you just overall have someone who actually genuinely cares about you. Because I think we're in an age where you can kind of chat GPT anything you want. You can create your own workout program, and it's easy. You can do it in 30 seconds. But I think that people genuinely need that human connection, that accountability, and someone that believes in them, so they can train like an athlete too, even with a busy schedule. So we're getting really close to being able to roll all of that out officially, and I've been working on it for a while, and I'm very proud of it. So I hope that I'm providing you guys a lot of value and giving you something you can take into your own training program. But this is episode number 2 of the road to Hyrox Worlds again in Sweden. And we're building the base. We're getting fast. That's the goal, to get fast. And I'm going to bring you guys with me every step of the way. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. And as always, I'll see you next weekend on the next episode. You got to tell them bye, brother.
Bye.